Hey, Growth Squad, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you. I know I'm a week late, a dollar short, as they say, but I just wanted to greet you once again as we open up this brand new season of the Eugene Hamilton podcast. I'm excited. I had a chance to take the entire month of December off. Yeah. It's never happened for me like that in my adult life, but it's interesting. People talk about having kids and having families and how some people view it as a burden and some people view it as freedom. Man, I've got so much freedom. I get a chance to spend time with both my wife and my son, and we had a blast. I've got some things I want to share with you as we move forward today. But don't forget, our goal, our mission as we journey together on this podcast is to simply go, grow, and glow every single day. Let's pray. God, thank you. Thank you that we have an opportunity to dialogue, to discuss, to talk. I pray that you would order our steps, order this pod, order the minds of my friends who are listening, who are watching. I pray that wherever they might be, that you would just let them know that you are near and dear to them. In your name, amen. Today I want to talk about how I made a commitment to myself this year to stop avoiding hard things. Yeah. Now, let's think about it. I've made a commitment to stop avoiding, as best I can, stop avoiding the things that are going to pull me out of my comfort zone. Now, ask yourself, what is that for you? What is that for you? What is that thing for you that you've been avoiding that you know will be hard, but at the same time will be life-changing? Yeah, take a moment right quick and think about that thing for you that you've been like, you know what? I know that I've got to do this. I know I've got to do that. I know that I need to, get to the gym. I know I need to take that class because check this out. Because I remember when I was finishing up my time in college, undergrad, right? And I say undergrad because during my grad studies, I was not a student on campus. But during my undergrad time, I spent a lot of time on campus, right? I didn't live on campus, but I, of course, went to class. In my graduate work, I did mostly virtual, right, with regard to my grad work. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. I remember getting close to the end of my undergraduate journey. I mean, so close I could taste it. I had paid my dues. I had paid all this, whatever, leading up. And of course, there's one more semester left, and I needed one more class. Now, it's so interesting because this class that I needed to take was like an elective, right? But I had to have, as you know, so many electives to qualify for graduation. I looked at all the things that would work with my time because I was working while I was in college. I, had a job. I was doing my thing to make sure I could have enough money to pay my rent, all that good stuff, right? So there was only one class that worked with my schedule. And I'm from the neighborhood, right? And so just like this whole pickleball craze right now, if you look at most pickleball courts, they're not in the hood, right? In fact, we were just in Dallas for the holiday as part of one stop we made. Sorry, for the Thanksgiving holiday. This one we were in Dallas, and we went to a place called Chicken and Pickle, maybe. And I was amazed at the fact that so many people were out there playing pickleball, eating chicken. I was like, man, this is pretty cool. They may want to consider building one in the hood, right? Because my people like chicken. They like pickles, but they may learn to enjoy pickleball. I don't know. Be that as it may, I was there, and it took me back to my time in undergrad. Because while we didn't have pickleball, the class that I took to finish up my electives was racquetball. Yeah, wild. Now, racquetball, for me, my size, my mobility, in a small space with a little ball, a little racket, racquetball was not easy. Racquetball was hard. It was difficult until I got the hang of it. Don't miss this. While I sat outside the door looking at other people play racquetball while I sat outside the door watching my instructor play racquetball. It looked hard from the outside looking in. It looked difficult from the outside looking in. It appeared as if I would never be able to master racquetball as I stood on the sidelines. And whatever it is in your life right now that you're standing on the sidelines of and refusing to jump into the fire, get on the court, get on the gridiron. You're watching other people run up and down, go back and forth, master what it is that you're afraid of. And oftentimes, hard things are all mental. Yeah. Most times when you think about something hard, like I decided to kick this year off with a 72-hour water fast. I know, bananas. This is for somebody who's never fasted more than, I'm talking about with only water, right? I've done, the Daniel fast. I've done different types of fasts throughout the year, whether it was with church, whether it was with a group of my buddies, whatever it is. I've done different types of fasts, but I've never done strictly water. I've done a juice fast. I've done a smoothie fast, right? I've done a fruit fast or fruit and veggie, whatever. I've done different types of fasts, but I've never done a fast where I had no food. Yeah, let that sink in. No food. Water for 72 hours straight. And one of the things that leading up to that time, I go back to my time in racquetball. As you go back to your time facing whatever mountain you thought was in your path, I go back to that time and I say to myself, I almost psyched myself out of doing it. Why? Because of my brain, because of my mind, because of what, hear me out. Excuse me, not because of what somebody else told me. It was because of what I kept telling myself. Yeah. Oftentimes you and I miss out on the development and the growth that is required of us, or that is required so that we can reach new heights. See, most of us are on the other side of our goals and our dreams. Either we're on one side because we're afraid to climb that mountain, and the others of us are on the other side of that mountain because we chose to look at that mountain as just another thing on the to-do list, and it's not going to do me any good to sit down here in this valley and just complain. I took that racquetball class. I mastered racquetball. I mean, in a matter of weeks, I was like top in the class in racquetball. And it was just the step I needed to complete my requirements for graduation and walk across that stage to get my undergraduate degree. Now, what if I said to myself, you know what? Nothing fits my schedule. Because once again, I just told you a few moments ago that the only class that fit my schedule based on my work hours and the other classes that I had to take to finish that semester and graduate on time, the only class that worked was that racquetball class. There were other classes. Don't get me wrong. But I would have had to miss work. I would have had to, do too much to my schedule. And it was right where I needed to be. So anyway, my point is, what if I had made, because we can always make excuses. This morning when you got up, there was something that you were supposed to do that you made an excuse for. Let's be honest, right? Some days you get up in the morning and you say, it's too cold outside. I don't want to go to the gym. Or some mornings you wake up and you're like, oh, you know what? I don't feel like eating healthy, right? It's too hard to make all that stuff. And I can just eat this little bitty egg McMuffin or whatever you got, quick pop in the microwave, boom, 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 and you're gone. So what do I do? What do you do when it's time for you to finally face that hard thing so you can reach your desired outcome? I heard a famous speaker just 2 weeks ago talk about the fact that too many of us set goals We set up goals, or we talk about goals, or we jot down goals, or we sit around, we talk about our New Year's resolutions, what we're going to accomplish this year, what we didn't accomplish last year that we rolled over to this year. We do all those things, which are great, but we miss the mark when we don't put a system in place to help us reach that mark. It's great to say, hey, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 2026. That's great. But if that's all you put on your vision board and you never leave the vision board and put together a system to reach that goal, you're setting yourself up for another setback. See, when we choose to go ahead and do those hard things that will make us and help us become the person that we know we were born to be, what we're choosing to do is not just put something on the wall so that we can put a picture on Instagram and say, I did my vision board, I did my vision casting, here's what I'm going to accomplish. This thing to do now, because champions, people that reach their desired outcome are not so much concerned with putting up the goal. They're more concerned with putting together a system. You see, if I put up that 50 pounds, if I put up that 50-pound goal on my vision board, I've got to now sit down with my journal, sit down with my notebook. I've got to now sit down with my iPad. I got to sit down now with my computer and map out the road. Here's what I'm going to cut out. Here's what I'm going to stop eating. Here's how much water I'm going to drink. Here's how many sodas I'll give myself for the month. You know, sometimes we cut ourselves out cold turkey. I say to myself, you know what? I remember one time I had this guy that I was working out with. We had some goals. I said, man, you got to give me at least 2 cookies a week. Right. I said, man, I can eat all that healthy stuff, but I don't want to crash and burn. So I had to balance that thing out for me. To each his own. Some people are super extreme and can do that and can stay extreme until they reach their goals. But listen, one of the things I'm always interested in is not just reaching the goal. How can I maintain the goal? Yeah, I mean, it's cool to reach that desired outcome. How can I stay there? I think I was scrolling on IG and I saw somebody talk about how fast they lost $1 million, how fast they went through, not lost, but how fast they spent the money. And one guy commented below, he said, man, it is so much harder to keep $1 million than it is to make $1 million. In other words, oftentimes we find ourselves reaching our goals and then our discipline goes out the window. One of the reasons why I did that 72-hour water fast is because my discipline had gone out the window. I blamed everybody, everything, my responsibilities, travel. I blamed everybody and everything except Eugene. Yeah, that's a rhyme. I blamed everybody and everything except me. And I said to myself, Eugene, you do all this good talking. Stand in the mirror. Look at yourself. You got discipline in certain areas of your life. But man, once you get control of that appetite, man, your mind is going to be off the chain, sharper than ever. And I can attest to the fact that once I finished that 72-hour water fast, although I was ready to eat, don't be lying. Oh, I don't. No. I was ready to eat after 12 hours. Let's not get it twisted. I was ready to eat after 5 hours. Day 2, I got strong. No, day 2, I got weak. Let's keep it a thou wow. Day 2, I was like, where is the burger? Where because it's funny. I chose to do this fast at a time where my son was at home and my 2 nieces were at the house. They eating chicken nuggets and French fries and cheese pizza. I'm smelling all this stuff. Yeah. But my goals, my desired outcome is more important to me than a chicken parmesan on angel hair pasta with white sauce. My goal, I just made myself hungry. My desired outcome is more important than that. So I'm going to encourage you. I'm not trying to be super deep. Just go do the hard thing. Whatever is in your way, right? Whatever is going to stop you, because once again, most of us, if not all of us, have rolled over some things into 2026 that we didn't accomplish for whatever reason. So I want you to stop doing that. We're not trying to figure out why didn't, or we're not trying to do the pity party, the blame game. You didn't accomplish it for whatever reason. You can blame, you can point the finger. Stop it. You didn't reach the desired outcome. It's a new year. It's a new month. Put some systems in place. Put some boundaries around that desired goal. Put some boundaries around your time. Put some boundaries around whatever space you need to think and to make sure you reach the desired outcome. I want you to be so passionate about where it is that you're going, so passionate about making sure that you're in position to reach the desired outcome, that you will not stop until you put the right system in place so you can reach your desired outcome. So this year, I've made a commitment. I hope you'll join me, because in order for you to go, grow, and glow, you got to do some hard stuff. Now, here's the funny thing. Your heart and my heart are not the same. Please. I think we've heard the quote over and over again. Comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing your journey to somebody else's. Your journey may appear to be harder. Listen, your journey is different. My journey is different than your journey. So we're not here trading war stories. We're not here trying to up somebody else and, oh, that wasn't that hard. No. I want you to commit to putting together a system. What does a system look like? For me, based on the goals that I have, Jesse Itzler just mentioned on a podcast he was doing about the rule of 100, right? And he talked about there's this rule of 100. If you do something for 100 hours, carving out just a few moments a day over an entire year, if in fact you find yourself putting in at least 100 hours, right, you'll find yourself ahead of 95% of onlookers who are looking at that issue, looking at whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish and thinking about doing it. You're saying, no. If I want to become become a better reader, let's say a better reader, let's spend 15 minutes a day reading something. That 15 minutes a day, I'm not really good at too quick math, right? But if you spend 5-6 days a week doing that thing, let's multiply that times 4 weeks in a month, multiply that times 12 months in a year, you'll find yourself becoming a master in areas that you thought you'd never master. Now, reading is one thing. It could be soccer. It could be piano. It could be whatever it is. 15 minutes a day. Put together a system that says, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I spend enough time on this thing. Listen, because we oftentimes look at things like they're so massive. Break your system down into bite-sized pieces and watch it change your life. Listen, I hope that you were encouraged by this podcast today. I hope you were encouraged by this episode. I hope you will share. In fact, as we kick off this new season, I want you, there could be some new things happening. I may have a guest. Hint, hint, right? May have a guest or two this year. I'm going to be expanding what I do, what I offer you, information that I share with you, and the value that I add to your life. So go ahead and go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and share as we kick off 2026 on the good foot, and make sure that we find ourselves going, growing, and glowing every single day. Until next time, take care of yourselves. All right? Peace.